everybody. I'm going to get started showing you this really pretty card that I made inspired by Carmen Morris, and I am using the Beautiful You stamp set. It has some gorgeous images and really nice sayings and stuff, and then some images that you can use to color in the little drawings of the girl. There's a card I did where I used that image to color them in, but it's just a really fun set. I'm also using High Tide. I'm using the birds and the water from this set as well. These two cards are using the In Color ribbons. This is the Dapper Denim and the Sweet Sugar Plum, and then I just used as close of a color in the watercolor pencils that we have to color her in. So this one I used the Rich Razzleberry, and this I used the Pacific Point. So let's go ahead and get started. I'll show you how to make that. Okay, and we're going to start with our stamps, and let me give you a rundown on the pieces you're going to need. First, you're going to need the card base is Early Espresso, and it is measuring at 5.5 inches by 8.5 inches, scored at 4 1/4. So you will need that piece. And then the first layer after that is soft suede, which measures at 5 1/4 by 4. And I only have this piece cut out because I don't like to waste paper. So I just cut it out with one of our square framelits, and I'll use it at another time. The next piece is crumb cake, and it measures at 5 inches by 3 3/4, and we're going to be tearing off the side of that, but you'll see. And then you'll need another piece of white for the inside, and it also measures at 5 inches and 3 3/4 for the inside. You'll need a little piece of linen thread. It's about, I think, 11 inches that I cut, and about 5 inches of the In Color ribbon. It's 3/8 inch wide, so whatever you got. So we're going to use those items. I'm going to set them aside for a while, and we are going to just start with stamping the front. I like to use the piercing mat, or I have my own cut here. I cut them all for my club girls, so I have a ton of them, but it helps when we're using these photopolymer sets we're going to start with. So I'm going to ink up the water with the Early Espresso. Just go ahead and put that on the bottom, just a couple times over. Okay, so you got that done. And then what we're going to do is just rip about 1/2 inch off the edge. It's probably best to rip it before you continue stamping, just because you wouldn't want things to have to be ripped off. It's easier to place them down after you know the real size of your paper. Then we're going to do this image of the birds and just kind of stamp it up here wherever you like. Oh, they're so cool. I love them. And then we probably don't need this anymore. We're going to go ahead and stamp down the image. If you've seen my videos before, do not like to put the stickers on the back because the stamps don't seem to stick as well to the block, so you won't see the image back there, but this is the girl dancing with her leg out. So get that inked up again with the Early Espresso, and just line it up there. Put her just a little bit in the water. She'll already be in the water. She has that on her image, but they're so pretty. And then I am using the phrase, the Live with Passion, Love Out Loud, Love Deeply. Oh, excuse me, Laugh Out Loud, Love Deeply. And then Happy Birthday, Gorgeous on the inside. So that's what I'm doing for this particular one. There are several really pretty phrases to use. I'm just stamping that over there. So that's easy. It's not quite straight, but that's okay today. And then I'm going to be using the dauber to just ink up the edges with soft suede. Just around the edges. Many of you have done this before. It just kind of gives it a softer look, maybe more of an antique look, possibly. Anyway, so that's just to your discretion there. And then we're going to go ahead and color her in. Like I said, I used the Whisper White for her dress, and a little bit of the Early Espresso for her arms and legs, and then the coordinating color, well, this particular one is Pacific Point, that matches well with the Dapper Denim for her hat. And I kind of shaded it a little deeper on the left side than I did on the right. This particular one, we're not using anything to watercolor it per se, like blender pens or aqua pens, just using our pressure on our pencil. And I just like the softness of that. And then I went ahead and colored her dress white. Trying not to color the lines that have been stamped just so they stand out really deep, dark, but sometimes you get into some of those and it's okay. So as artsy and creative and artistic as this looks, It is not that hard. I am probably more crafty than I am artsy, so I feel excited that I can make something that looks like I drew this or colored it and stuff like that. So I'll put a little more white in her dress. Okay. And then we're going to go ahead and just color her arms very lightly just to give her some color. And her leg. And don't forget the one in the water. So there's that, and that part is done. And you really, now it's just assembling. So what you're going to do is take your pieces, and you will need your soft suede piece. We're going to just put this piece of ribbon on the edge. So we'll flip it over, put some fast fuse here, just a little bit on the, just on the edges to, oops, get this stuck down like that. And then we'll go ahead and put it on the rest of the card to assemble it onto the base. Oops. Okay, a little bit more there. Nice. And then assemble that right on top of the espresso base. Easy. Oh, I'm going to slide this over just slightly. Okay. Center it. And then you will wrap, if you'd like, you wrap this linen thread around the edge of the front layer and tie a bow. Always easier said than done for a video. Super fun. I love tying bows, but sometimes they don't cooperate for me. Okay, that one didn't. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna have to do it again. Okay. Good. That's gonna work enough for this video because I can always tighten it in the back. Okay. So get that placed where you want. I'm going to go ahead and put some adhesive on the back because I need to. This is what I do when I don't get a bow tight enough. I just put some adhesive down and I tighten it myself in that way, if that makes sense. The beauty of tying it around the back and nobody knows what happened behind it. Okay, see, looks perfect. And then I just kind of centered that from the left side on there so that you could see the ribbon on the side and trim that out a little bit. Oops, sorry about that with my camera. Nice. And then we're gonna go ahead and just stamp the inside. It's really easy. The one thing I did, I took the Dapper Denim ink and I inked up my stamped, this little image right here, inked it up, and then I stamped off, and then I stamped on the white, Whisper White, just so it wasn't so dark. It's kind of a dark color. And then on the inside, I did Happy Birthday Gorgeous. So we're gonna do that in the Early Espresso. Stamp that right over the Dapper Denim image so you can see it there. And then I just add my adhesive. Center that in there. And you are done. Easy. And you can use any color ribbons. I mean, I've also used I really like the Emerald Envy, but I did run out of it, and then I used the Bermuda Bay for her hat. So at the end of this video, I'll have the supplies listed and the dimensions and directions written so that you can see those and refer back to them. Again, I appreciate you watching my video. Thanks.